Hello my loves and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kylie Nell. If you're new here, hi. I am a trauma-informed energy healer, a spiritual and success realignment mentor, and a rebellious old soul of the internet, and I've made it my mission in this lifetime to help women heal from their trauma and be able to step into their divine potential as conscious creators of their own reality. And welcome to officially day 6 of 111 of this 111-day quest that I've embarked on of the mind, body, and soul balancement. And today feels like we're actually going to have a little bit of a divine tarot reading vibe. I tapped into my tarot cards for quite a beautiful guidance for a topic that I'm really excited about, on how to really allow yourself to dream big as an act of post-traumatic growth. And this is something that I'm very much so deeply passionate about, because dreaming big has always been my mantra. I remember when I just started studying, I had this big-eyed, bushy-tailed view of the world, and I was like, anything is absolutely possible for me. When I was 19, left home, moved into a different country so that I could study psychology at university, and just had this entire big-eyed, bushy-tailed vision that I can now really do anything. I came from a very small town, and I always felt like the dreams were very one-dimensional. I felt like it was just you go to varsity, you study, you get a job, you come back home to your small town, you marry a good man, I suppose, and you just allow yourself to build a family, have a business, get kids, and that's where it ends. And my soul wanted more than that. My soul craved more than that. And so as I embarked on this journey and stumbled across bodybuilding and all these things, suddenly this mantra turned into the world is your oyster and you can be and do anything. And that mantra really came from being more exposed to the internet back then in 2013, 2014. Instagram just started building. It was kind of picking up its reins a little bit. And I saw all these fitness models in the online space, and I saw that they were making a living for themselves, just going to the gym, creating content on a social media platform, and that there was some other magic behind what they were doing. And so I put on these rosy tinted glasses. I'll never forget, someone asked me when I just finished I think I was nearing the last years of my bachelor's degree. And someone still asked me, what are you gonna do? You're nearly done, what are you gonna do? And I looked at them and I was like, you know what? I have no idea. All that I know that I want to do is I want to create art, write because I love writing, and share my life and make a living out of it. That's all I want to do, and just empower and inspire people. And I still remember seeing this smirk on his face, and he was just okay. Thinking I'm going to give him a very standard, I want to open up my psychology practice, or I want to go and be a counselor. There was something deeper for me, and I felt like there was a dream that was bigger. And as the years gone on, I've metamorphosized, my dreams have changed, things have evolved. But there's also been a lot of big dreams that I had that didn't happen. It's almost as if they either crystallized and it felt like they were frozen in time and space. And then there were dreams that I had that I thought they were my dreams. I thought they were what I wanted. And looking back now, I'm if that big dream had manifested, this is actually so cathartic for me to say right now, but if that big dream had manifested, I would not be the woman I am today, sitting here right now with such clarity in who I am and how I want to move forward with my life and with the world, and how I want to be seen. So I'm I understand that part, but there's a lot of big dreams that I had that haven't manifested over the past few years. And I really want to speak about that topic of how do you really navigate the space, because it hit me like a ton of bricks this morning. When I was busy reading, I had this call, I'm busy reading a beautiful book about just allowing yourself to dream bigger and stepping into that version you want it to be. And as I was reading this book, there was this line at the end of the sentence to be okay, what are the big dreams that you're setting for yourself as you start reading this book? And I really took this moment to sit back, because I've been getting a lot of signs through tarot readings, conversations with my mentor, like just also nudges from my guides, I've been getting a lot of signs of it's time for you to set like your big dreams, like your really big dreams. And if I really had to look at the trajectory of my life, for the past 7 years, when I experienced my first spiritual awakening and I decided to really go on a journey of finding myself after my suicide attempt, that the universe is just like, nope, you're not doing this. I don't think I've shared this here. I think I can share this here. I was driving, I'll never forget this. I had just finished my bodybuilding. I just did my last show. It was a horrible show. I felt so terrible. I was not in the right state of mind. And I remember I was on my way to the gym and just feeling absolutely at despair because it felt like all my dreams that I'd worked on that year had just gone to waste. At that stage, I had left and broken up with my ex-fiance. There was just so much like trauma and layers that was added, and to add that I broke up and left my ex-fiance, I was still healing from I haven't even started healing, to be honest, if I know how to be really honest with myself. I hadn't even started healing from a relationship after that. So there was just, I was carrying a lot of brokenness. I was very much an empty vessel. And I remember just driving on the highway, going across this curve and bend, and I was like, fuck it. Like, I can just flip this car. What is the point? Like, I am so tired of this. I was so depressed. I felt so tired with life. I was just like, I am done. And I remember taking the wheel and like flipping it over, and it just stopped. It span all the way back, and this voice, and that's the first time I ever heard like my psychic channeling abilities. This voice just said, it's not your time. And I remember sitting there and I get goosebumps every time I tell the story. And I was like, right. I was like, whoever this is, whatever this is, if it's not my time, because I'm not particularly religious, and I wasn't religious. I wouldn't say I was an atheist because I didn't believe that there was nothing, but I didn't particularly believe in anything very much. So after all the shit that I'd been through, the trauma, I had kind of lost my belief in, and that there must be something greater looking out for like me. There's like a universe that has my back vibes. I was like not after what I'd experienced. And so I just sat there and I was like, whoever, whatever this is, if it is not my time, help me heal. Like, I did not come this far to just come this far. And so that was 7 years ago. And this morning, I literally, as I was writing in this book, this entire notion came over me that you have to set your dreams. I'm looking at the time now and it's like 7 minutes. You have to set your big dreams for the next 7 years. And immediately that felt confronting for me. It felt so deeply confronting because I was like, the past 7 years, I'd set really big dreams and there's really big things that I wanted to accomplish, but there was also a lot of self-sabotage that happened along the way. There's a lot of dreams that didn't manifest, that didn't actualize. There's a lot of, just stuff that happened, and it has caused and it did cause a lot of like dents within my bubble of belief, of shooting for the moon and like reaching for the stars, and it caused a little bit of reservation within me. And I wrote down these dreams and I just allowed them to flow. I was like, right, I feel like I'm going to even expand in them deeper because there's a few, there were like 10 points that I like wrote down. And as I wrote down these dreams, I sat there and I was like, these dreams are nothing like I've ever written down before. But at the same time, they also feel really scary. To commit to something wholeheartedly for the next 7 years and be like, right, like I am manifesting this. Like this is my vision that I am working towards come hell or high water. That commitment felt incredibly intimidating. And that commitment felt so intimidating because if I look back at the past 7 years, I was like, there's a lot of dreams that I've set. There's places I thought I would be. And I went through life, like things happened to me even prior to these 7 years that pulled me away from those dreams. And so suddenly now, thinking even prior to setting these like big dreams now, I was like, in the past, I would set dreams on a fly. I never had a 5-year vision. never mind a like fucking 7-year vision. I never had a 5-year vision. And I feel like this is where I really want to like start the crux of the story of diving into my tarot cards too. And I feel like I had to give you that home base, because as I wrote down those dreams this morning, I burst into tears and I thought to myself, who the hell are you to make this happen? If the dreams that you had before this did not fully come to fruition as you believed, even though on a conscious level I know I'm meant to be exactly where I am right now, I feel like this is the duality of having a soul and being such a divine soul, and knowing that you are the conscious creator of your own reality, which is really the card that I started my tarot reading with, the card of the Magician. Like knowing that you are the conscious creator of your own reality, and you can be, do, have whatever the hell you want. And knowing these things on a soul level, but like my 3D self, my human essence burst into tears, and I was like, what if I commit to this and I'm disappointed again? What if I commit to this and it doesn't happen? And I don't know, I don't know where I'll go from here, because this is the dream. Like, as I wrote down these dreams, and I know I'll share them soon when I feel like I've like consolidated them within the fibers of my beings. But when I wrote down these dreams, I'm like, this is it. Like, these are the dreams I feel in my soul. Like, it was dreams around the impact I envisioned my business to make. It's dreams around the impact of having a home. Like, one of it is really having like a beach house, because I love being near the ocean. It was really just this vision of where I would love my life to go with my husband in the next 7 years, because we both want to travel the world wildly. Like, that's one of our biggest dreams. And so there was this feeling of like, cool. Now I'm even getting like this like feeling saying it here, but I know it's meant to like come through me. There was this huge feeling of like, the next 7 years, you're going to be laying the foundations so that you can go and actually travel the world and take this work that you do and globally impact people all around the world. Even just saying that right now, I feel really giddy. I'm like, I just put that on the ethers on the internet. And so that is like the really big dream. And again, like becoming the conscious creator of your own reality. And I wrote this down and I burst into tears, because I was like, who the fuck am I to do this? And that's when I realized, when I went to the gym, because I had quite like a hard training session today. As I was at the gym and I looked down at my barbell, I had quite a few weights stacked. And this voice just said to me, stack your weights like you would your dreams. And I sat there and I was like, you know what, that's right. No one really very much so speaks about the mastery of when you're going through post-traumatic growth, when you're going through healing, and you've allowed yourself to change, and you've allowed yourself to move through things that have once taken away your power and stopped you from being fully you. How do you then stack your dreams again? How do you go back to that childhood innocence of sitting there at your like grandfather's feet, or sitting there in front of the fireplace with big beautiful eyes, looking up and being like, wow, I can be absolutely anything. When they ask you at school, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? But you're like, I am paralyzed and numbed by the choices. And somehow that state of being paralyzed and numbed by your options as a child becomes narrowed down and condensed to being paralyzed and numb by, what if I make the wrong choice? What if that's not the path I'm meant to do? What if that's just not meant for me? What if other people are meant to have that but not me? Maybe I should just play smaller. Maybe I should just play it safer. Where do we give our power away? And it's such a mastery to be able to sprout up again, to have a huge pineapple season. I spoke of pineapple season in day 2. So if you're not sure what I'm like talking about, have a look at day 2, because we deeply went into pineapple season. I'm sure it's day 2. I can have a look at my journal here. Let me see here. No, I lie. It's day 1. It was day 1. No, Kylie. Day 1 or day 3? No, I think it was maybe, I I'm not sure now. I think it was day 2. Because I didn't write pineapple. I thought I wrote pineapple season in my journal, but I didn't. You'll see the pineapple on the cover though. That's the pineapple season episode. And to realize that you can have, and you will have, one of the most fruitful pineapple seasons ever once you've actually embarked on this journey of healing and becoming complete and whole within yourself again. And so I wrote this down, and I wanted to read it directly out of my journal because I'm like, there's no way I'm going to verbatimly repeat this in its essence as beautiful it is. But I said here, when we go through trauma, we use our dreams as beacons of hope. And this came through from the 5 of Cups here. Let's see, there we go. When we go through trauma, we use our dreams as beacons of hope to help move us out of a space of disempowerment. Often those dreams don't fully represent us because it's a big dreams and years of baggage you're carrying with it. How insane. Years of baggage that you're carrying with it. So your big dream almost comes like a trauma survival response. And it doesn't represent you at your absolute soul dream. It's often layered with beliefs and layers of who you've become in response to your trauma, who you think you should be in order to get out of it. And it's what you think you should do in order to be successful in the material realm. And so you can see, like, very much so when you're just moving out of this frantic state of trauma, when you're still moving through the thick of life, before you land into being who you're meant to be, a lot of your dreams are trauma responses to trying to get out of a state of, did I fail, out of doubt, like it's not in full alignment. And then often these dreams won't manifest. They won't actually materialize in the 3D realm because they're not meant for you. And especially as light workers, as star seeds, as women who are meant to impact, as I feel like we are consciousness raisers. The women that enter my world, the clients I work with, the women I meet, just whether it's for collaborations or deep friendships that develop from it, we are here to raise the vibration of the planet. This is a new earth that we're living in. And we're actually now completely learning and understanding that we are such deep conscious creators of our own realities. The quantum realm, we can have anything that we want. We are so fucking powerful, so powerful. And so realizing that we can really have anything we want and having these big dreams, and I feel like we live in the era, the big dream era, because of how our society is set up. People are doing miraculous things that have never been done before at lightning speeds. So there's a lot of evidence that we can have these big dreams that we desire, but there's also a lot of doubt, a lot of heaviness that we carry with us. I would even say, like, looking here at this, at the 10 of Wands, it's even just looking at the mental baggage, the doubt, the beliefs that we carry with us from things and experiences we've been through. And the moment that realization dropped in, I was like, if you really want to step into the mastery of how do I allow myself to have that impossible life, the life that I once thought was impossible become possible, have a dream life that is nothing that I've come from, have every single goal, dream, desire manifest, have the beautiful ecstasy and bliss that I deeply desire to have, to live in such deep serendipity. How do I transition into that when the evidence that I've had for majority of my life has contradicted every fiber of that? And how do I transition from that? Because you come to a stage in like your life throughout your healing journey, especially when you commit to this journey of like development and personal development and healing and ascension, all these things, where you suddenly are no longer willing to compromise. And it's easy for you to call yourself out on your shit, to be like, is this like, I am no longer allowing myself to compromise on what my soul wants, to compromise on my values or my needs or what my soul wants in this lifetime. And when you reach that state of no longer wanting to compromise, it feels very confronting for your dreams, because then you're no longer willing to compromise on your dreams either. And these big dreams want to be birthed through you, because you know if you don't say yes to them, you know if you don't allow yourself to step into that woman you want to be. And these dreams are not only, like, I have to say this because my guides are like, you have to just mention this. These dreams are not only like the material things of how much money you want or the place you want to live in. It's also the big dream of who do you want to become as a woman. Like, I very much have this dream of just bringing my combination of having this athletic side where I love, like, especially from coming from bodybuilding, I love to be strong and fit and healthy, to be the strong, fit, healthy woman, but also have a very deep roots in living spiritually and connected. So I'm almost like finding my own unique balance between having that physicalness about me and being like, I can push myself and do like mixed martial arts classes. I started that. I absolutely love that. I can lift heavy weights because I love being a power lifter. I can run because I love my running. But I can also be the woman who sits in a room and helps people move energy and trauma and mentor them to build really successful lives and dream big. And that's also a big dream. Like, who do you want to be as a woman? And so to be able to move from that space of doubt and that space of also forgiveness of the dreams you may have set for yourself that did not manifest because they weren't actually divining what your soul wanted. They were merely just little glimmers of things you thought you had to or should do in order to survive, or in order to actually just somehow find a sense of relief. I was like, right, how do we actually allow ourselves to step back into our power? And this came through from my tarots, and I want to share it with you. That very much so, you'll reach this point in your healing journey, in your life's journey, where when you suddenly move out of your flight and fight response state, when you have safety within your being, when your nervous system is more deeply collaborated, when there's when your nervous system is deeply calibrated, when your mind feels anchored, your soul feels grounded, there's a state you reach when I feel like you've really mastered a lot of the lessons you were meant to master in this lifetime, and you become very grounded in who you are in a being, where you suddenly have them to switch your gears into, cool, now we're gonna now it's a party, now we're gonna start creating. Now let me step into who am I now going to be as a conscious creator of my own reality, because I've created this home base, the safety base within myself. You're going to have to realize that you're going to very much so have the patience with yourself. This is the card of Temperance. Have the patience with yourself to pour back into your own cup. Your higher self is now going to have to pour back into your own cup, so that you can believe that you can have whatever you desire and that the world is your oyster. You're literally going to have to feel like the world is your oyster and that you can pour back into your own cup. And I feel like that's sometimes where we miss the mark, because we're like, okay, I've moved through my things. I'm in my healed era. I now have to have my shit together and believe in myself. You're still human. There's still a humanness to you. There are still neural pathways in your brain. We're not like computers where we can just pull up our brains and be like, show me all the neural pathways of self-doubt. And you can just cancel, clear, delete them all. If only, right? But that would bypass the brilliantness of being human and having this experience in the first place. But you're gonna have to take some patience now to pour back into your own cup and realize that on a deep spiritual, soulful, astral level, you've quantum leaped. Your soul is already 10, 15, 20 years down the line, ready to pull you towards the vision that you've actually incarnated into this lifetime to fulfill. But now your 3D-ness has to actually walk that path and catch up. And here's where we're really going to have to master time. I was reading quite a big snippet on time this morning from a quantum author as well, and just his perspective on time. He speaks very much about the matrix. So I love always seeing these different angles of how people speak about things, and just really realizing that as time is very much our own self-created construct, to release the judgment that you may have placed on how long are things going to take me now. Screw it. Now you're only going to start living. Now you're truly only going to start living. From the state of healed essence, from the state of bringing your own world together, bringing your own world together from the inside out, from every single part, your mental, emotional, energetic, spiritual, physical being. You've mastered your world, you've brought it together, you've brought peace within yourself. Now it's a fucking party. Now it's only the time for you to dream bigger. Now it's only the time for you to realize that you can master this momentum of creating your own reality. We have the Queen of Wands here. And as she popped up, my guides were literally like, you can master this momentum. Like, go for it. Allow this energy to flow. But you have to release. You'll see the moon is here on top, just lurking in the background. And there's two signs, like beautiful messages that come through as I connect to that moon energy. One is that it's going to require you to step more into your feminine intuition and trust yourself. So now, more than anything, my love, the time is to fucking trust yourself and write down those big dreams. Even if you write them down and they make you cry. Because that means your soul really wants that. But in that element, and in that moment, honey tea. How did I become this person? I never thought I'd love honey tea. Oh, I swear, if you guys had to like know me and who I was so many years ago, you'd be like, who is this woman chatting to me right now? Like through this, I feel like this is like my YouTube FaceTime every time. Like, who is this woman? Because it's so bizarre. Anyway, it's really about you trusting your intuition, but on the other side of it all, also releasing the distractions, the shadows you're casting for yourself. When I had my session yesterday with my shamanic energy healer, she said something to me that just rang like so beautiful of, I only see what is meant for me. Like, where are you allowing distractions to feed you? As opposed to being like, holy fuck, now it's a party. Now I've really allowed myself to master my energy, to release my trauma, to create safety within my being, to experience more depth and emotions. Now the work really starts. It's so serendipitous because as we heal, we also very much so need to give ourselves and then feed back from our healed state, from our soul state, feed back into our human state to fuel us so that we can now give our humanness that permission and potentiality and possibility and permission to dream fucking big again. And show them that it is so, so, so possible that everything, single thing that you want will manifest. Because you are now a very complete whole being to work from. That was like a channeled... Wow, wait, that was a complete channeled message. I feel for everyone watching this and very much so for my own state of being. Like, holy moly, that was beautiful. So it very much is now, my loves, like, that is the essence of today's episode and of day 6 of this 111-day quest, which I am so excited. Funny that it happened on day 6, because day 6 is really finding that deep embodiment and mastery between tying all the things together, so that when we move on to 7, which tomorrow will be day 7, represents the completion of cycles that are like surpassing through. So it's interesting that this came up. I find there's no coincidence. Serendipitous as always. On day 6 of this 111-day quest of how can you now give yourself permission to revisit your dreams, look at them in the state of how you've healed, from how you've now changed your vibration. And perhaps you're on this journey where you're like, I'm not there yet. I'm busy still shifting my vibration. Then I'm so glad you're watching this, because I think if I had to see this in my state of like moving through all my shit to be like, okay, there's going to be a point where I'm going to have to pour back into my own cup and be my own biggest cheerleader to be able to do this. Like, it would have made me feel a little better about things, because often we come to a state of healing when we think we have to have everything sorted out and be so fucking confident and nothing comes into our way. But we forget that there's that collaboration, that calibration that has to happen between the soul and the humanness. And when we allow that recalibration to happen, we give ourselves the permission to feel our dreams to become so fucking big that we truly allow ourselves to step into that energy and that deep knowing that anything is possible and the world is your oyster. With that, my loves, I will see you for day 7. Bye for now.